I want to ban leaf blowers. Why have they got leaf blowers?
That is him.
What are they doing? They're blowing leaves into the street. Well, they're going to blow back.
The last episode, he spoke about leaf blowers for about half an hour.
Honestly, I want to go to the council. Can we ban leaf blowers? It's bad for the environment. It's noisy. It's pointless. Do you know what I think? I think that gardener's doing it. That he can hear them. He's working.
Right, yeah.
Because they're not doing anything. They're doing it with, there's like one leaf getting it into the...
No, the bit that annoys me, one does it and he blows the leaves down there, and then the other guy's gardener blows them back to where they were. They just keep doing it every day. They're blowing the leaves
What's
back.
up with the rake?
Yeah,
putting it in a bag.
Proper grafting.
I know.
They get
or
lazy.
if they're going to do it, get a vacuum.
Yeah.
Vacuum it up so you don't have to... Yeah. And I got a cricket box, right? And I went, I got that, I bought that. I said, it's really tight, right? And I went back, right, to take it. And I was in a queue, and I got to the front of the queue, and I said to the guy, I said, I'm not being funny, but this box is too small for me, right? And he went, yeah, it's a child's.
It seems like you're referring to a quote or moment involving Ricky Gervais. However, the comment about ISIS starting a streaming service is a darkly comedic example of Ricky's tendency to address controversial or taboo topics. He often pushes the boundaries of comedy to challenge societal norms, but such remarks can stir up debate due to their provocative nature. Gervais is known for making audacious statements and tackling sensitive issues head-on, sometimes making audiences uncomfortable, but he often defends this approach by saying that comedy should not shy away from difficult subjects. Ricky Gervais is known for his sharp, often controversial humor, and in this instance, he takes aim at both celebrities and big corporations like Apple. His comment about, if ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, is an example of his approach to exposing the hypocrisy he sees in Hollywood's moral posturing.
Found out my crime was that I dead named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, before a day after the Golden Globes.
Right. Frivolous nonsense.
Right. I actually know William and Harry. They've come to about 2 or 3 of my gigs,
Yeah.
So you can't second guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, you've got to
Claims with its labor practices and sweatshops, Gervais highlights the gap between the ideals companies preach and the often unethical practices behind the scenes. His humor is unapologetic, leaving the audience to reflect on these contradictions, even as they laugh uncomfortably. Ricky Gervais, in his usual style, doesn't shy away from controversy, especially when it comes to topics like the royal family and societal offense. His remark about dead naming and the royal wedding touches on the concept of people being offended and how just because someone is offended, it doesn't automatically mean they're right. The audience's reaction, a mix of shock and nervous laughter, shows how Gervais jokes often land in uncomfortable territory. Tom Hanks, captured on camera during this moment.
I actually know William and Harry. They've come to about 2 or 3 of my gigs, No, it's the old-fashioned with it. And now the old-fashioned, they go, they want to use our toilets. Why shouldn't they use your toilets? For ladies! Offences about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? Offences about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality.
Gear for the scene. His facial expression, a mix of disbelief, disgust, and possibly grudging respect, captures the essence of Hollywood's response to Gervais' bold, unfiltered commentary. In that moment, Hanks embodies the tension between societal outrage and the quiet acknowledgement that Gervais may actually be making a valid point. The meme quickly spreads across social media, perfectly capturing the essence of the night. Hollywood's discomfort is laid bare for the world to see, as Ricky Gervais does what he does best, bursting the bubble of celebrity self-importance and forcing the industry to confront its own hypocrisy. His sharp wit has become a symbol of defiance against the moral grandstanding so prevalent in Hollywood. But if you think Gervais is done, think again. This is just the beginning of his war against woke culture and celebrity sanctimony. He's only getting started, and Hollywood better brace itself for a long, uncomfortable night. You'd think the A-list celebs would have learned their lesson after Gervais' savage takedowns, but nope, he's just warming up. As he jokes about the new women in Hollywood, it's clear that Gervais is not backing down anytime soon. Ricky Gervais, always unapologetically bold, has never been one to shy away from
I'm not excited about it. Listen, I've got nothing against the royal family, but I don't like any of that sort of...
Found out my crime was that I dead named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, before a day after the Golden Globes.
Well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that, just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right. Am I excited about the royal family?
Yeah.
No.
The royal wedding.
It comes to tackling what he sees as the excesses of woke culture. With the rise of social awareness, it seems like everyone's suddenly hyper-aware of social issues, ready to call out anyone who steps out of line. The comedy world, in particular, has come under fire, with jokes now requiring a trigger warning and approval from the PC police. But Gervais? He's not having any of it. He keeps pushing boundaries, crossing lines, and speaking out on contentious issues, provoking backlash from the woke brigade. Twitter mobs, think pieces, and calls for cancellations flood the internet, all trying to silence him. One of the most notable examples? His joke about Caitlyn Jenner using her old name during a Netflix special. The backlash was immediate, with people accusing him of transphobia and demanding that Netflix take down the special. But Gervais, staying true to his comedic roots, isn't backing down. His attitude is clear with his...
The new women, I know the new women, they're great, aren't they? The new ones we've been seeing lately. There were last year, big backlash, wasn't there? Big backlash. People going, you can't say that. You can't.
I mean, it's on every paper all the time. Every minute show. It's like, oh, no, I'm not interested at all. So you can't second guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contention.
Just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. This sums up his entire approach to comedy. He doesn't let anyone dictate what he can or can't say. So, how does he handle the criticism? Does he apologize or cave in like so many others in Hollywood? Absolutely not. He continues to stand firm, unapologetically pushing boundaries, making people uncomfortable, and challenging the increasingly stifling environment around comedy. Ricky Gervais continues to push boundaries, unapologetically doubling down on his brand of humor even when faced with backlash. At the Golden Globes, he's known for being politically incorrect and hilariously blunt, often provoking discomfort but also sparking important conversations about the limits of comedy. He has no fear of offending people and stands by his belief that irony and edgy humor are essential parts of what makes comedy effective, even if some people don't get it. When it comes to the BBC or any other platform that gets complaints, Gervais isn't fazed. He argues that you can't legislate against stupidity. If you try to please everyone, you'll end up pleasing no one. Every attempt to silence him only seems to make him louder. It's like playing a game of whack-a-mole, except the mole has a microphone and a sharp wit. And the debate isn't just about
The old-fashioned ones, the old-fashioned women. Oh, God, the ones with wombs.
It's just, no.
Well, when you go on the Golden Globes, a lot of time you are politically incorrect and hilarious, of course.
I think that, I think that BBC are still a bit stuffy because they get complaints and, they're a sort of government body, so they fear... And sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that. But, you can't legislate against stupidity, otherwise you'll be doing nothing.
A larger conversation about free speech and political correctness in comedy. Can we still laugh at edgy jokes? Or do we all need to stick to safe, sanitized humor? Should there be limits on what comedians can say? Or is the true purpose of comedy to challenge us, make us think, and yes, sometimes make us uncomfortable? Gervais is at the center of the storm, but the question remains, what is comedy really for?